Hello, and welcome to Sorority. My name is Becca Scott, and I am your Keeper of Arcane Lore. For today's adventure, I have three fabulous guests with me. A huge welcome to Krystina Arielle.
Hello.
Surena Marie.
Oh, hi.
And Gina DeVivo.
That's me.
I cannot wait to meet your characters. Our scene opens looking down on three figures huddled beneath three umbrellas. Black umbrellas as rain soaks their stockings and shoes. It completely ignores these insufficient shelters, and they clutch their parcels, all of their belongings that they've brought with them on this journey, held close to their chest. These three very different women stand before a house. We change our point of view to theirs and pan upward to see a towering edifice, a Victorian monstrosity in the midst of a swampy New England forest, with wrought iron Juliet balconies jutting from high windows, individual towers top each wing. It looks like it's just wing after wing piled and overlapping on top of each other in this haphazard way. The black paint peels from every shingle of its clapboard exterior. There's a window in the front, and it looks like a dining room through it. And what is that? A shank of lamb sitting on the dining table? Oh, it seems to be moving. Oh wait, no, those are perhaps rats moving along it. The three of you hold in your hand letters. A letter belonging to each of you. The ink runs as rain runs through it, but you know that this letter is from a Mr. Martin Prynne, a lawyer, who requested your immediate arrival at this address on today's date, April 3rd, 1889. What do our characters look like? Let's start with Violet Lark.
So Violet, the only way that I can kind of describe her quickly is like sort of librarian core. So she wears a lot of browns and tans, and is wearing sort of like a tweed long skirt that goes to the ground. She has a lot of pockets, like in a way, because you never know when you need things. Her hair is up in a messy low bun, and she has, instead of glasses, so the only thing that's like incorrect about librarian core, she does not wear glasses. Her eyesight is perfect. But her eyes are just a little larger than normal. Like they're just like Disney princess eyes. They're sparkly and bright, and her hair is a dark raven color, and her skin is a light brown.
How does she feel about her long tweed skirt getting rain soaked through it?
So Violet has a thing with texture. She's incredibly uncomfortable, and the skirt is becoming heavier and heavier as it is soaking up the water. So she is one hand on like the letter and the other hand on her skirt, just almost like mindlessly like wringing it out, just like squelching the water from her skirt.
Squelch.
And yeah.
We love a squelch.
We love a squelch. We love a squelch. Did she tell anyone she was coming here?
So Violet doesn't really have a lot of associates. She tends to keep to herself. So she let her roommate know, Benjamin. And then that was it.
Her roommate, Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
They are not married, and they are not together at all.
Not involved.
Not involved.
Yeah, keep telling Benjamin that.
No, Benjamin, no, please.
No, yeah, but if you need someone to come with you, perhaps, carry your bags, shine your shoes, squelch your skirts.
So, Benjamin, thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. I am good.
And this
Very
is the
good.
address here, and don't follow you there.
Please refrain from following me, here or ever.
Understood. Yes.
Thank
no,
you so
we're
much,
roommates,
Benjamin.
and I respect this boundary.
Thank you so much, Benjamin.
I finished packing your bag and a lunch.
Oh, I got a lunch.
A thermos of coffee.
Oh, I love coffee. Thank you so much, Benjamin.
Well, I just want to be the best roommate you've ever had.
You're a great roommate and my best friend, like a brother.
You're my best friend, too. He goes for a hug and then changes to a handshake.
And we give a hearty handshake.
Yeah. He lingers in the handshake a little long. We cut back to outside the house where we see Beulah Beatrice Hattie Maynard. Please tell me what I pronounced wrong and what she looks like.
Well, my name is Beulah Beatrice Hattie Maynard. It's pronounced more like a nice glaze over the nod, like N-A-R-D, but it's an R. You know what do you understand? Maynard. Maynard.
Got it.
Yes, lovely. So welcoming of all of you to be here and greet me. So when you see Hattie, you see a nice, put together woman of the cloth and the Lord, and she is a psychologist. She is wearing a nice pair of spectacles. Her hair is pulled back a little bit, very chic, a nice little chignon in the back.
Chignon. That's a bun, right?
Yes, it's a nice little updo, if you will. And she's wearing a high turtleneck collar underneath, set of suspenders with very high pants and a nice coat.
She wears pants.
She does wear pants, yes.
Does the congregation find this a spectacle?
You know, I understand that most people in the church would believe that a woman should only wear a skirt or a long dress. However, I do not agree with that. And as the most learned person in most places that I do attend, I like to think that that would count for something. And by something, I mean, I do what I want.
Fair enough. When, is Hattie what she prefers to be called for short?
No.
Beulah?
Yes. Beulah Beatrice.
Okay. Beulah Beatrice. What does
friends do call me BB, but I do not have many friends.
What does BB think as she looks up at this edifice? They need to get their stuff together.
I would make my thoughts known, but I do like to not dwell in the judgmental or the harsh. So I guess I'll refrain from saying how atrocious these accommodations are, how terrible this water is, and that you should have planned more accordingly to have people get out of a carriage down into a deep puddle of water.
Do you say this aloud?
I do say it aloud, but slightly passive-aggressively.
Well, just then, a man also very wet comes huffing and puffing out of his own carriage. He is a rotund man with a complexion the color of oatmeal and a suit that is a little threadbare on the edges, neatly tucked pocket square, and another kerchief that he's dabbing on his forehead even as he pulls out an umbrella. This man is still sweating. And he hears your complaints and says, yes, I understood. My apologies. I should have sent a carriage perhaps, but so much to do with the death and whatnot.
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't mind walking in the cold and the rain, mucking the mire.
Right. Are you cold? I'm always a bit warm. And we have one more character standing with her umbrella. Gina, please tell us about Enid Flores.
If she wasn't holding an umbrella, you might have missed her. She's very small in frame, almost like she's been wrung out a few times herself in this wet place. Her clothing is not well kept, despite clearly being of high quality material. There are some self-sewn patches to mend edges. She is wearing an apron over her nice clothes that also has seen better days. Her face is young and smooth, but the smile she has creates vast crinkles around her eyes as she's giggling to herself and staring at the hem of Beulah's pants covered in mud. And she's giggling and she's very anxiously tugging at the scarf, the very delicate scarf around her neck that is accompanied by the many buttons up her coat jacket covering her clothes. And she's standing very hunched near Violet, sort of in a go get a mom kind of pose, like a little bit behind, a little bit near, and is just giggling and staring at your pants.
Oh, I'm sorry. Something funny, darling.
Oh, no, I just thought it was very nice to see you in such a smart outfit. I really like the pants, Beulah. It's nice to see you again.
Have these two met before?
We have quite a history. More of a ships passing in the night type of a situation for the last forever.
Yes.
You know each other, Mr. Pren joins the conversation, says, yes, well, it's best we go inside. We wouldn't want someone run over by a carriage like the last occupant. Quickly, inside.
As we are walking inside, Violet kind of like shuffles her skirt and says, I'm sorry, that they were run over. They were just run over flat by a carriage.
Oh, yes. Well, the witnesses said he was raving like a madman, shoeless and coatless. If you can believe that, leaving the house with no shoes.
I was thinking no coat. Yeah.
Yes,
terrible.
well, some of us run warm. He's sweating profusely, even though it's raining.
Are you ill? Are you ill?
Well,
your face looks flushed as if you have a fever. Do you have a fever?
Sure, I'm a bit under the weather, you could say, but it is my natural state. Gout, rheumatoid, arthritis.
Oh, terrible, terrible.
My, we should go get you a cup of tea.
And she just pushes past you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I right before you do, the door to the house pops open. The house seems to shudder, and there's a little burble of the clacking of the shutter board on the exterior as it pops open, as if welcoming you in.
Enid runs her hand along the door frame as she crosses the threshold, and under her breath just says,
What a nice old house.
It's as if it's welcoming us in.
You feel a warmth as soon as you step inside. That's more than just heat. You feel it internally, Enid, like that feeling when someone hugs you tight. And you step inside and it brings you a little bit of happiness. As you all quickly come inside and out of the rain, does anyone else do anything in particular?
Beulah Beatrice would like to stop by the door and immediately take off her stockinged feet. She'd like to take off her stockings and remove her shoes, and she's going to roll up that pants leg that someone kept looking at and laughing as if something were quite hysterical. But she's going to make sure that she's not feeling wet. Actually, I'm sorry, is there a place that we could maybe get comfortable? I don't know what the order of operations is here.
Right. Step inside. I do assume we have Mrs. Flores, Mrs. Lark, Mrs. Maynard in presence?
Yes, present.
Yes, inside, please, please. And you step into the hall. The door closes softly behind you. A once grand hallway with stately portraits of idyllic landscapes on the walls is all covered in dust and cobwebs. You hear a grandfather clock ticking somewhere down the hallway in the shadows. At intervals along that hallway are oil sconces that are lit. There is a bit of electricity, though, in the chandelier above, made of crystals. A new technology.
Yes.
Indeed. There is a decorative bench upholstered with tufted green velvet just beside the door where one might sit to roll up their pant legs and remove their shoes if anyone else would like to do so. You may set your bags down as you all were invited and may have traveled some distance. I imagine everyone has some amount of luggage that Mr. Pren instructs you to put down. Oh, yes, of course. So you all received your letters?
Yes, quite mysterious.
Yes, I may have forgotten to mention something interesting. The three of you have inherited the ownership of this home. Did I remember to put that in the letters?
Hold on. We together own this house?
Yes, that's right.
You just hear a kettle drop from the kitchen because Enid has scurried off to make a cup of tea for this very sweaty man.
Enid would very much like to find the kitchen.
Oh, but she can't?
And feels along the wall, and strangely, where there should be many doors opening to many rooms along this hallway, there are none, but that of a coat closet beneath the stairs. And on that note, the stairs don't seem to have a second floor above them. The stairs end in a plastered ceiling. There are rich mahogany railings. There are the stairs themselves. There's a landing at the base of the first floor, but no upstairs.
If you'll excuse me for just a moment. There's something that I forgot outside. Do you mind if I go back out this door? And she starts to try to make her way towards the front door.
She reaches for the doorknob, and as her hand touches the brass, it melts into a sticky goo and just falls away from the door and into her hand.
Now you wait just one doggone moment. Somebody tell me right now what is happening.
Please give me a sanity roll. First roll of the game.
While you are about to take charge, you just hear that there was no kettle. You just hear shuffling and grumbling and angrily
Open your bag, find a kettle in it.
Yeah. I just start making a mini fire in the hallway.
I have like canister flint. I'm helping you.
56 on your sanity. You began 70. So that is a success.
Oh, good.
You want to roll below your skill level. Yes, your sanity maintains. You can explain it away and with anger as you did with why is this happening? I'm very sorry. As the homeowner, I think you'll want to get that fixed.
Mr. Prim. And Violet is walking towards him, and you can tell that outside she was very proper, and that's kind of cracking a little bit as she looks at him and says, "Okay, Mr. Prim, what's happening? What is this house? Who left us this house?"
Well, I suppose that's, let me check my notes. And he pulls out a folder and starts rifling through it, drops it, and picks it back up again, apologizing at your feet. Yes, it doesn't say here. I suppose you were known to the family, or they've left it to you in some way. Your names were on the documents sent to me.
Who is your boss? You have to report to someone, don't you?
Oh, yes, I work for a law firm, Pren and Pren. I'm the only remaining Prin. My late father ran it with me.
Enid is suddenly directly behind this man.
My condolences. Question. Does this house have a name?
Why, yes.
Wonderful.
This is the Havelock House.
Havelock House. You've got to have a kitchen, Havelock.
And she keeps walking around.
Banging on the walls.
Banging on the walls, and there is a pot that she has pulled from her giant carpet bag that is sitting atop a oil lamp already, but she has no water yet, so it is just progressively getting hotter and hotter with no liquid as she scurries around and
perhaps I can help with that. He takes his umbrella and tips it into your tea kettle.
Genius.
She quickly undoes the scarf around her throat, and you see just a bit of pink at the top of her collar, on her skin, some discoloration, as she wrings out her scarf too above the tea kettle to add to the water.
We don't know how many cups we'll need.
And she continues to wring out parts of herself to add water to this teapot.
Now I know good and doggone well. That was just a southernism. Y'all can carry on.
Oh, sorry. You command such attention when you speak.
No, just an aside.
You get used to it.
Give me a roll for listen, Enid.
Ooh, okay. 29. Oh, no. I
not
needed
a
under a
success.
20.
Chicken. This is a fine time to remind you all of a fun new mechanic we'll be playing with. You have a pool of points that I did not insist you distribute before the game began, although you do need to spend them before you roll.
Good
But
point.
Being the first one, we can take that again.
Okay, I wouldn't mind it because I want to be nosy as hell, and I feel like I would listen.
Sure. Please feel free to distribute and then re-roll.
I think I want to pop that up to 60 at least.
You do have one good listener at the table.
Oh, are you
already.
a good listener too?
Oh, I'm very nosy.
Oh, great. No wonder we got along for a little while.
How do you think we got through Cotillion?
I know! By making sure that we didn't say each other's names while we were listening.
Of course, but you know what I did here. I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, I do love gossip. Then we'll do 50. I say you're better at it than I am. Mine's out of curiosity, and yours is out of power.
While listening,
At least that's my vision of you.
while filling the kettle with various sources of rainwater, Enid listens closely to the wall at where it very much feels like a kitchen door should be, or at least to the dining room that would lead to the scullery kitchen for the servants to prepare food in. And here's a hollowness behind the wall, as if a door wants to be there. Here's a boiling, a bubbling, a popping. But then from the opposite direction, from underneath the stairs in that closet door, here's a light scratching.
Must be the rats from before.
And she's hurriedly tying the scarf back around her neck.
Yeah, scratching.
And she abandons the kitchen and immediately, very easily walks into this cupboard under the stairs, as she is very short in stature and barely has to duck, and is now and closes the door behind her.
As soon as you open it, actually out bursts a creature flinging itself in your face that makes a yelping noise. Ah!
Nope.
What does it look like? Can I help you?
I mimic the sound that it makes at me. Do I lock myself in with this creature?
It's a young girl, perhaps 6 or 7. She's
creature.
You weren't sure at first.
Never met a toddler. That's accurate.
She's wearing a plated or a gingham dress with overalls and white puffy sleeves. It goes almost to the floor, but it's kind of pinned up so she can run and play. And it seems that she does. She runs down the hallway to the grandfather clock, opens up the door to the grandfather clock, says, "Please come find me," and closes the door.
Enid's face lights up, and this is the youngest she's ever looked, despite being looks around 20 years old. She looks 12 all of a sudden, and you see her take on an immediate like hunched stance, hikes up her skirt as well, and just yells. And again, yelling for Enid is still just above a whisper, as her voice is quite husky and raspy for her age.
Challenge accepted!
And starts opening random drawers and things because she's like, all bets are off. This house makes no sense. And I'm in, and I have been challenged by a child, and seems to maybe have grown up around several siblings. And this is a very known game to Enid.
As you start opening drawers, you immediately find a wedding veil in the closet under the stairs. This small little cupboard that you had to duck, or you did not have to duck, others would have to duck to enter. And it does have a small set of drawers. Do you pull out the veil?
Yes, this gives pause and pulls it out. And almost as if the moment her hands touch the veil, that 12-year-old sort of essence that had taken over her is immediately wafted over by a much more calm and studied energy.
Can I have a spot hidden roll from Violet and BB? Feel free to distribute because this is a rather useful skill. And this is the one and only time that you can add to that particular skill. Then you're locked in.
Okay. I'll do this again. Oh, and then I rolled very, very good. A success.
You feel yourself being called down the hallway a ways, about halfway to the grandfather clock, and you come to study a portrait on the wall. Tell me what you rolled as well.
26.
Okay. I think that Violet is the one that is called to this particular oddity. It's a wedding portrait. It has an ornate frame. As you dust away the cobwebs, you see a joyful-looking man with brown hair in a long black coat with a high belt and silver buttons all the way down its front, a black leather band across it, and a square top hat. It's a military uniform. And the woman in the photo is wearing white, delicate lace. She looks like a cherub. There's baby fat still in her cheeks. She has delicate, tiny hands and feet. Her frame is very slight, and her face has a far-off expression in it.
I think that Violet kind of curiously kind of puts her hand on the portrait to kind of like wipe some of the dust. And she's staring at it. And I think that for whatever reason, Violet is connecting with the woman and seeing perhaps this was not what she wanted, but it was maybe what was expected of her. So that's sort of Violet sort of seeing herself reflected a little bit back. And also all of the stuff that was happening with Enid was happening fully in the room with us, right?
Yes. It's a narrow, long hallway that should lead to every other room in this gigantic Victorian house, and yet doesn't.
So I think that because this place also has electricity that is of great significance to Violet, and she wants to understand how it works, and this house is weird, we've established, and Violet kind of likes weird. And so I would like to try to take the painting off the wall to see if there's anything behind it.
Sure. As you do, roll for occult. Roll for power. One of your main characteristics.
Just under. So a success.
A regular success.
Yes.
When you put your hands on the portrait, you hear a whisper in your ear. You're like me. The thought you just had, but this doesn't seem to be coming from your own mind. It feels like someone foreign just invaded it to give you this message. Roll for sanity.
Hey. That is a fail.
You cannot spin luck on sanity, unfortunately. You lose 1 point of sanity because it could have been the wind, but something tells you that it definitely wasn't. There is something strange happening in this house, unlike anything perhaps you've experienced before, or perhaps we'll find out how much similar things you've experienced. Behind the painting, there is a hollow area, a crack on the wall that doesn't have any paint on it. It reminds you of the scar that perhaps you saw on Enid's neck as she removed her scarf. It kind of has beneath the paint, there's like a fleshiness to the wall.
Oh.
It looks as if this house has a scar.
Oh. I think this house is alive. Perhaps, and I'm gonna touch it.
When you touch it, you feel a warmth, like when Enid walked into the house, as if there's just a heat, a tingle going up your arm and settling in your chest.
And I kind of only to her and to the wall, say, I'm sorry if someone or something hurt you, but I guess we're here now, my friends and I think that we're meant to take care of you, house.
You feel a flash of anger when you say the words, someone hurt you, and sparks fly from the chandelier. The chandelier light goes off.
Oh.
The light from just the oil lamps is rather dim. Sparks continue to fly from the crystal chandelier near the door. What is Beulah doing?
First and foremost, Beulah is looking directly at Violet as if she is doing too much.
That is Violet. She is always
describe that.
No, that is true. What you said.
In a way that is not just a very, very pointed side eye. There's a lot of investigation going on in a situation that Beulah Beatrice does not find. How does one say this? Normal. It is, and I myself am not unfamiliar with the paranormal. It is something, honestly, that Enid and myself have encountered together. However, I would like to not encounter it together again. However, I am now stuck inside of this home that I cannot get out of, no matter how many times I've tried this door. And Beulah's just maniacally trying to find a way out of this place, while also wondering how they found themselves in this position and who did this, and looking for some kind of clue since I cannot get this door open. So she starts to walk back around to try and find something.
Beulah is shaking the door as she's trying to make a doorknob reattach where really just molten bronze, not hot, but liquid now, has dripped through her fingers. And the shaking of the door shakes the whole front frame of the house. Mr. Prin has been this whole time trying to organize the papers that he drops. And he says, yes, I have it here. He goes and flips the switch for the light. And with your skill, Violet, in engineering and interest in electricity, you probably see the power that sort of lights up in the line going up to where the sparks were flying in the chandelier. And Mr. Pren shuffles his papers and says, yes, finally, I found it. In addition to the home, they will inherit the guardianship of one Arachne Havelock, age 6. Yes, you are the proper guardians of... And on that of, the chandelier detaches from the ceiling, or rather, crystals of it do, electrified by this newfangled electricity. And the crystals end in a sharp tip on each of them. They start shooting downward. Beulah, you were standing near the door last. Please roll for dex to see if you jump out of the way of these crystals in time.
Yes, that's a 21.
Is that a hard success?
Dex is 50.
Yeah, that's a hard because you're under the 25. With a hard success, you dive further down the hallway towards Enid and Violet. Enid and Violet, give me a roll for dex to see if you are able to deflect the shards of glass that have jumped up off the tile floor.
I did not. Nope, that is a no for me. Oh, no, wait. My dex is 80? Yes, I do. I rolled a 77.
You drop the portrait and your hands fly to your face to protect you. Or rather, perhaps you use the portrait. Enid, how did you roll?
Oh, no. There is way too many interesting things happening and, shiny at my face.
You take 1 point of HP damage as a bit of shiny wedges into your abdomen.
Enid?
Enid very quietly, which in medical speak, if you're quiet, it's more painful.
Yeah.
So she's quiet and she walks over to the tea kettle that has been sitting and is now going and starting to make the noise that it's ready. She takes the kettle off and lays it on a nearby a doily and takes off that scarf again, dips it in the water, and then puts it on her side to start cleaning whatever this thing in her stomach is.
Meanwhile, Beulah screams as she sees right in front of her Mr. Pren impaled by dozens of these sharp crystals. He looks at you, blinks a few times, and says, "Oh my," as he starts to put his hand to his face to dab at not sweat, but blood, and falls backwards like a log falling in a forest. The house shakes and a few tiles crack as his massive weight hits them.
Oh, bless your heart.
Mr. Pren is dead. All of you, please roll for sanity.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for me. Nuts. Oof. That is a super not, it's not a super fail, but it is a 96, so.
Ooh. This is an important time to mention that a fumble is a roll of 96 to 100 when you have less than 50 points in a skill. Okay. If you have above 50 points, it must be exactly a 100 to fumble. So you didn't fumble, and that's very good.
It was my sanity though, right? I have 49.
You lose one.
Oh, I have 49 because I lost a point of sanity earlier.
And you failed this roll, yes?
Yeah, I failed this one.
By the 96, that's a fumble.
It's a 96. I think it's a fumble.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to call myself out, make it worse for me. But
yeah, so I did roll a d4 that was going to give you just 1 point of sanity loss, but I think we got to max out that die and call it a 4.
Okay.
Explain to me why this shakes Violet to her core.
So I think that in the chaos of the chandelier breaking and all of the shards falling, Violet shielded herself with the portrait, and then the crystals pierced some of the portrait and crushed through it. And as she saw that Enid was hurt, she was going to rush towards Enid, but was stopped in her tracks when she saw the body of Mr. Prim, because it reminded her of a terrible accident that she had caused in her past. Seeing the mangled bodies of the people who had fallen from a balloon that she had tried to fix, it reminded her of that carnage.
We cut to the scene with the balloon and just describe what Violet sees.
So Violet, as a scientist, but also someone who is invested in unconventional means of science, she was trying to prove a theory right with limiting the amount of volume needed in a balloon to fly.
So we're in a field.
Yes.
The balloon is prepared, sitting 50 meters away.
Yes.
There are other scientists around, other students. Everyone is preparing. Everyone is testing the different elements of the balloon.
Yes. And so Violet had created a type of gas that she wanted to try that is less hot. And so it takes up less space. And so she switched out what was supposed to be there with what she wanted it to be there, because she wanted to be right so badly.
Her professor walks up to her, an older man who maybe mistakenly puts his arm around her shoulder and says, removes it when she shakes it off. I just wanted to apologize, Violet. I know how much this meant to you that we would test your theory, but it just doesn't seem safe at this juncture. We'll continue testing, yes?
Of course. Yes, we will continue testing. And the balloon starts to rise.
Now, the gas that we've put in this balloon, of course, we've tested for a past decade. I feel very safe in sending them up.
So I will say that, if, we'll see how this balloon goes, and if it flies true, then we'll know that I'm right. Because I've edited the balloon. So
Are you telling this to the professor right now?
Yeah. I've edited the balloon because I think that it is important that we test all means of science.
You've done what?
I've edited the balloon, sir, because it is important that we test all means of science.
You mean you changed the gas?
I changed the gas because it is important that we test all means of science,
you
sir.
lunatic! There are people in that balloon! And he runs and starts waving his arms at them, trying to get them to bring the balloon back down. But it's too late. They're so high in the air now. They've reached a different density of air. And as that happens, there's an explosion. It's just a fireball. You see the professor before you crumple to his knees and pound the ground.
To test all means of science.
One of the occupants of the balloon falls from the sky just feet in front of you, and you see his eyes. A young man. They're frozen, staring up at you. And we cut back to the hall.
So Violet is just staring, and she is like miles away in her own brain, just staring at the body.
And then you did not pass that test?
I did. I did.
Yes. Okay, great. Great. Beulah, you have the most blood splattered on you, being the closest to the falling chandelier, and you were the first to notice huge splatters on the walls as well.
Beulah is just sitting, her left eye's twitching, and she's just, this isn't right. This isn't right.
Yeah, I think you're sitting on the tufted velvet green bench that was right by the door. What does Enid do?
I think Enid saw what happened to Mr. Prim a second after they did, because she felt her pain in her stomach, went to the tea, went to clean her wound, heard the scream, heard the sound, looked up and realized what had happened. That her injuries are far less important than the chaos in front of her and the frozen nature of this scene. And I think her training kicks in, and she is good under pressure. She is fine around blood. She has seen many scenes of and states of bodies, but nothing like this in this way. But she's seen far worse. And so she kind of goes into that state of calm in a crisis when other people look more afraid. And she's quiet, she is quick, she immediately is still holding her side, but quick as a flash is shuffling Violet, this woman that she has known for a very long time, and guides her to the chair where Beulah is, and is sort of attempting to ground them and get eye contact. She knows that Violet is somewhere, and she needs Beulah and Violet to be here. And so I think in a rare moment of touch, she sort of places the inside of her palms on the sides of Violet's cheek and Beulah's cheek to see how present they are.
Are you all right? Is anyone hurt? Beulah, is any of that your blood?
Beulah takes a deep breath. Why are we here?
I believe we are now the guardian of a couple of things.
Something is not right. There's blood on my sweater.
Yes.
There is a dead man on the floor.
Also, yes.
My friend is terrified. There is no second floor at the top of these stairs. Nothing makes a lick of sense. And I cannot leave. And from what I can tell, there is not even a bath for me to clean the blood from my cheeks. So I would like to know what the next steps are. And you want to know what's going on, I cannot tell you because I do not understand it myself.
As Beulah says this, she looks up, and on the wall against the stairs, where the blood has splattered, it started to drip down, but is dripped in such a way that it reveals writing, as if there was slick oil where the blood couldn't penetrate the wallpaper. And spelled out in the writing, in a coarse hand, says, "Get out of my house." Beulah's the first to see this.
Oh, well, isn't this rich? Now there's blood on the wall. The blood says we need to leave too. Looks like... listen, I study the mind. I've spent years studying how the mind works and how we process these things, how we process traumas and losses. And the only thing that I can think of is how none of that matters right now because none of this shit makes any sense.
You feel as if the walls feel a little tighter. It feels a little colder in the room, as if a breeze is blowing through it when no doors or windows are open. What does Violet see?
So Violet, I think feeling Enid's hand upon her cheek and hearing Beulah being very logical, and I think that's what Violet really appreciates about Beulah is their logic in the face of things that are incredibly illogical. And as she kind of gets back into her body and looks up at the blood on the wall very low to herself, says, We have to dispose of the body. I mean, there's a dead man in the middle of the room, and there's only us as witnesses. We have to dispose of the body. Because if we don't, well, then they're going to think that we did that, and we didn't do that. So we have to, and also the house won't let us leave. So how will we dispose of the body? Maybe we can put them in the cupboard. Yes, the cupboard by the thing.
Oh.
Clearly the immediately the two women sorry
like a psychology roll from each of the other two women to see if you're able to maybe bring back a little sanity to your friend. Or maybe it's pure logic. Maybe she's the most logical
I'm
amongst
being
you.
very logical right now. We have to do something. He's just there.
We can't get in. Out. How they gonna get in?
Well, it was very easy for us to get in. So maybe the house just lets people in and doesn't let people out.
Yeah, it ain't getting out. That man is dead.
I know, but we can't just, we're going to live here.
How did you do on the psychology rolls?
hard success.
Ooh, very good. Your touch does bring a sense of calm if Violet is okay with that resolution. And what does Beulah do? Did you succeed on that roll?
I did not.
Okay, fair. That's all right. Enid's got this.
I would like to make eye contact with Enid and have a conversation through our pupils and
yes,
the
thing that just happened for the listeners at home, the moment the sweet baby bean Violet started to have panic attack, the two psychology majors, one parapsychology and one regular psychology, immediately locked eyes and gave the "oh no" eyeballs. You got this or I got this, and I give the Enid gives the acknowledgement, I got this head nod. Carelessly rips her own coat off of her body that she has been walking around and dripping with and has not been prepared for this fine house. Rips it off, covers the body very quickly to at least remove the sort of horror of the immediate body. And then very quickly, again, scoops Violet up in her hands, lifting her off the bench from under her chin, and is going,
"We mustn't dispose of the body. That looks much more suspicious. I thought we've talked about this before. You can't just..."
And she kind of like starts going over.
When
she
Enid
starts
lifts her.
Yes, it is painful, I imagine.
Sorry, continue.
No, but just that is starts knows how to, when you get stuck in a logic hole, I just start following the logic and poking holes in it as a way to calm you down.
You are able to regain 1 point of sanity with that hard success on the psychology roll. And as this happens, Enid, you feel a horrible pain. And as you were all discussing how you wish there were different places you could go to, how you wish there was a powder room to tidy up, how you wish there was a room to make tea in, doors start to fade into view in this hall. At the top of the stairs, a small powder room door appears. The door is slightly ajar, and you can see a mirror in there. It's very tidy, except for the blood dripping around the handle. You see heavy wooden walnut doors appear in the wall beside the grandfather clock. And Enid, you remember that you are also in need of medical care. Do you pull out the crystal?
No. That seems like a very bad idea. That could cause a lot of extra tearing,
and she's just I think the pain reminds her of all of the things that she should be doing to herself right now, but also her mind is very much lingering on the fact that there is still a 6-year-old that she does not want to see this body. So I think she still continues to ignore her own injury and goes about trying to cover the body and put things over it and remove the blood, because again,
There's already been there's 3 witnesses, and that's plenty for the police. And it clearly the chandelier.
and she's muttering to herself, mostly for you, so you can
pull
hear her
anything
logic.
from the coat closet that is open beside you?
I think she's still holding the veil, which is now covered in a lot of blood. And yeah, I think she's going around to all of anything that looks like a loose piece of cloth that isn't belonging to her friends.
As she notices the veil in her hand, give me a power roll.
Okay. That's a hard success, baby.
Your vision goes black for a moment, and you see a different version of this room. There is no body on the floor. The tile is polished. The cobwebs are swept away, and you see a man in a military uniform on bended knee with a woman standing before him, cherubic cheeks, delicate frame. She's overcome with joy as she takes his hands and nods yes furiously. He picks her up and sweeps her off her feet and plants a kiss on her cheek. And then you snap back to reality.
I think that makes her drop the veil very quickly, and it lands in a puddle of blood, and the white mesh sort of soaks in a little bit of the red. And she sort of goes,
All right, this won't do. Shall we head upstairs?
Yes. As you were cleaning and doing
Yeah.
the things, I think that Violet, now calmer, because you were able to get her out of her logic hole.
yeah.
She's going through her bag because knowing Enid for a really long time, knowing that like you have a wound, and I'm assuming that the blood is seeping through your clothes.
Oh yeah, she's got her white apron on, so it probably took a minute, but once it soaked through her many levels of wool,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, that's
So
enough.
I'm looking for something to like patch you up while you're doing all of that.
Great.
Yeah. So yes, I think we should go upstairs. We need to look at that.
Enid is hurriedly, like, every time she goes to move, you see her face wince as she's collecting her carpet bag and her things.
You never know what you're going to need, especially in a haunted house.
Because I'm very strong according to my character sheet. I'm gonna like carry your bags.
Oh.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely injured. You know that you're bleeding, correct?
Oh, yes.
You're bleeding, and it's inappropriate for you to carry anything.
I keep forgetting.
And yeah, every time she goes to grab another thing, you grab it.
Nope.
Yeah, and then she eventually just sort of gives up and sits on the stoop of the stairs until you're ready.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Enid, do you happen to have a needle and thread?
Of course I have a needle and thread.
Of course you have a needle and thread.
It's a carpet bag. How do I repair her?
What do you do with the needle and thread?
Well, I'm going to take the crystal out of her side and I'm going to stitch it.
Excellent. Give me a roll for medicine.
Oh boy, right here. Not even going to give a girl a shot.
Actually, that truly what I was grabbing from my bag was
my
little
goodness.
bit of a flask. Yeah.
When you specifically, Violet, hand her alcohol, you see her instinctually just grab her neck and kind of like clear her throat subconsciously over and over and over as she takes a sip of this alcohol. She never stops clearing her throat, and it makes a weird gurgle noise as this child tries to drink a lot of alcohol very quickly while staring at you.
Yep.
Okay.
How old is Enid?
Enid's, she looks about 20. She looks freshly out of college. She looks young and incredibly old at the same time.
Yeah, like
because she's
eyes
very small.
old.
Yeah, she's very small, so she appears really young. Could pass for, a teenager if need be, but there's something in her face that looks really old.
How'd you do on that medicine roll?
I got a 9.
Oh, that's an extreme success. Let's see. We will roll a D4.
Can I say that I also hand you like these like big thick like tweezers to like help grab it?
I'm sorry, but I need to clarify something for my own brain's purposes of this.
Please.
Now, upon removal of said crystal, is the blood going to spurt out of it?
It is definitely spurting.
Okay.
Yeah, as a medical professional in the room, you well know this. And perhaps
I just want to make sure that I don't get more blood on my person, so I'd like to move over to the side the second that I remove the crystal from the wounded party.
you don't
Dex check to
think-
save outfit.
Yeah, save outfit already covered in blood.
out of the way. I think for the medical aspect of this, you'd have to immediately put pressure on that wound and then tightly wrap it, which you well know and are very good at doing this while saving your outfit. Because maybe you grab the coat or the veil that's lying on the floor nearby. And as you do, blood spurts, but I rolled very high for you. You gain up to your full HP.
Oh.
And while that's happening, you all get on the ground in order to do this procedure and notice the wall behind you where the bench was sitting is also covered in blood and also has words that the blood could not drip upon. And this side has a different message.
Oh.
This says, "Release us." And it is written in a different handwriting, a firm, bold print. And at that moment, the grandfather clock door creaks open.
Oh.
And the young girl, whose name you've learned is Arachne from the lawyer's paperwork before his untimely demise, she peers out and says, "Are you going to find me?"
Hello. Yes, we were going to find you. Hi, I'm Violet.
She just stares at you with wide eyes and looks up hopefully.
So, have you lived in this house your whole life?
She nods vigorously.
It's a very interesting house, isn't it?
She nods even more vigorously.
Do you have a room?
I have a room somewhere, but I haven't seen it in a while. This house is funny. It moves.
It moves. Interesting. Do you know how? Can you talk to the house?
Oh, yes. Can't you?
Well, not yet. I think that we've just met. We haven't made a good impression yet. I don't know if we have.
Oh, you definitely want to make a good impression, or else she could get really mad at you.
The house?
She just looks at you confused.
I don't want to be presumptuous, Violet, but do you mean your mother?
I don't have a mother, but I do have Winifred. She's my nursemaid. Have you seen Winifred?
We haven't. We didn't know this house came with a Winifred.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Winifred's probably my favorite part of the house.
Can we meet Winifred?
Let's find her. And she rushes through the double walnut doors that had opened appeared beside the grandfather clock and leaves them slightly ajar as you hear her footsteps go off into the distance.
I just, before we follow the child, is she alive? Is that a ghost child? Is that a real child?
I'm pretty sure that child is not among the land of the living.
I'm not entirely sure. It did have, it was she, my apologies. She
Arachne?
Arachne had, quite solid when she ran into me.
Yes, you did
So-
feel her.
Right.
I've had very,
It's very corporeal then.
very corporeal, if ghost.
Yes.
Give me a roll for intelligence, all three of you. This is also your no roll. K-N-O-W, no. It's your...
Can I roll my parapsychology for this?
Sure.
Of like psychic kids or versus.
Yeah.
I don't know what this roll is, but it's a 00 and a 1.
That is a critical success.
Oh,
Yeah, very, very
you
good.
take it, girl.
Yay.
All yours.
Violet, when you were talking to her, you've never felt anyone more real. Everything
Okay.
in this house feels movable, feels like it's speaking to you on a level that is
Yes.
so far beyond just the physical. But she just looked like a girl standing in front of you.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely not a ghost, but she probably understands the house on a social level, perhaps.
Yes, and hopefully in a cartography sense, at least a little.
And we're kind of, or are we walking towards the doors?
I think right as you look more anxious and start floating towards the double doors of this grandfather clock, Enid starts to stand up after being sutured very elegantly and kind of hurriedly and maybe even a little begrudgingly starts to whisper a thank you, a hurried thank you to Beulah, and you hear a slight
Thank you, Beulah Beatrice.
as she corrects herself and kind of brushes past you, a little embarrassed. You see a flush on her cheeks as she's misspoke.
Beulah kind of catches herself at hearing Enid almost call her BB, and she remembers that feeling of an old friend calling her something that at a time was very special and important to her, and she immediately corrects herself and gets her bearings back about her because no one has time for all that.
As this beautiful, touching scene happens where Enid is holding her side, where she lost quite a bit of blood, but her friends have brought her back to health, and you're following the footsteps of this young girl who now the three of you are guardian to. Behind you, you hear what sounds like sand falling through a sieve, like an hourglass, but all at once. And as the three of you look over your shoulder, the tile around Mr. Prin's body falls to sand. His body falls away. The tile starting near the front door falls into nothingness, just blackness below as it all falls like sand in an hourglass, coming in your direction, and you run